Everyone, Ryan here. Welcome to week 5. Today we're going to talk about building your content machine from my home here in Austin, Texas to your home or office, wherever you are around the world. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, and I'm excited to take you into the next stage of the SaaS growth system. Let's jump in and get going. This is an exciting one. So what are we going to talk about today? So this section is going to teach you how to build a sustainable and repeatable content generation system that's going to generate over 1 million highly targeted content impressions per month, so that target ABM lead list you built earlier is seeing your stuff everywhere across email, web, mobile, and social, making your brand appear omnipresent to your ideal client, prospect, and your entire audience that you want to influence and make aware of who you are. So let's get started on this. How much does this cost to set up? Well, you could probably set up a content machine like this in about 30 days. And for not that much money on an ongoing basis, when you add in all the data costs, all the software tools, and all the email cost, you're talking about maybe $15,000 a month. And that includes ad design, content creation, etc. The hardest thing here is ensuring that there is a CEO-led or founder-led effort to write high-quality content. Most content isn't that good. Most content is written inside a generative AI machine like OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, etc. And that's just not going to get you the mind share and respect of your target market. That might be fine for long tail search engine optimization to attract a visitor to your site, but it's not going to be appropriate for educating your target market, who are smart, ambitious, well-educated people. And if you're specifically targeting VP level, C-level type folks in the business-to-business sector, you need to write content that no one else could write. You can't outsource the content creation to anyone other than an expert. And my theory is the best expert on your industry and the specific needs of your customers is probably you. And so step 1 here in building your content machine is getting yourself or your founder or your head of marketing, whoever you want to be the face of your company, to write one great article a month. That's all I ask. If you can write one great article a month, or maybe do one 30-minute video that then a ghostwriter turns into an article a month, that is all you need to make this system scalable and sustainable. But if you're going to farm out your content creation to either an offshore content ghostwriter without providing, a video content that has the right context in it, or you're going to farm it out to AI, you're just going to get crap results. So you got to have lead magnets that attract eyeballs that, look like someone who is a really thoughtful and expert level person is creating. So that's the first comment here. So how does the SaaSRise content machine work? Well, this is the content machine that I've built over the last year since we founded SaaSRise. And we are now getting over 1 million content impressions a month. And that breaks down between about 600,000 ad impressions a month that are ads that are shown just to our target market. Remember those 450,000 SaaS CEOs and founders in the world? Well, they're all seeing about 1 to 2 impressions a month. Some are seeing 5 or 10 once they come to our website. And then email opens. And so when you add together your ad impressions and your email opens, that's going to generate about 90% of your content machine impressions. And then you'll add on top of that LinkedIn organic impression and any other content impressions that you might be doing. So you can see here that after about 10 months of working on it, we finally reached in July 2024, 1 million content impressions. Not that much money. The total sales and marketing spend, including our salesperson, Lee, who's full-time working out of South Africa from Recruit, including all of our ad spend, including all of our any ad design costs we have, was $14,000 a month. So The question becomes is how many content impressions did you have for your firm last month? Add it up. Add up your ad impressions if you have any. Across LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, Bing, AdRoll, Taboola, etc. Add in all your email opens last month across your CRM tool, your cold outreach campaigns, your warm emails, any autoresponder sequences you have. Add in your total website views from Google Analytics or CRM tool and see what the number is. And in B2C marketing, you're going to need 10 million, 20 million impressions a month to really break through because you're going to be selling $30 products. But in B2B marketing, where your target audience is probably only 100,000 people in the world at maybe 20,000 companies, it might even be smaller if you're in the enterprise, you really only need about 1 million impressions a month to make your business growth sing. So if you're stuck at 100,000 impressions a month, well, you got to 10x that, and you got to build a system to 10x that. So the goal for you over the next 3 months, get your monthly total content impressions across ads and email and website above 1 million. I said ads, email, website. I really meant ads, social, email, and website. Those are the 4 sources of content that you can add together here. So this system together is how we grew our annual recurring revenue. This is net new ARR. The new ARR was actually higher than this, but this is net new ARR after churn. We grew our net new ARR by $688,000 last quarter. Now, we're not a big company yet. We'll be a big company someday. Last quarter, we had 2 people, myself and a guy named David, who's our head of growth and our co-founder out of Tampa, Florida. And then at the end of the quarter, just in the last month there, we added an SDR named Lee. So we have 2-3 people now, and we were able to achieve 1 million content impressions. Now, I did spend about 7 hours a week writing content, and I spend about a significant amount, 5 to 10 hours a week, writing great quality content, because I found that if I write the great quality content, it attracts people in our target market like a magnet, because I empathize and understand deeply what a SaaS CEO and founder is going through, because I've been there, and I've been there for a decade, and I've coached SaaS CEOs for another decade. So I've got 20 years now of empathic understanding of what B2B SaaS CEOs are going through. And that helps me write specific content. So you need to find either for yourself an internal person that can write this high quality content. And then once you have it written, then you can turn it over to an outsourced design team and an outsourced SDR ads to get it out there. So how is this done? Well, let's break it down. I maybe showed some impressive numbers for a small team, but how do you actually achieve this for yourself? Well, there's 4 real sources of content distribution online. There's advertisements, there's email, both warm and cold. There's social networks, but in this case, it's really just LinkedIn that really matters here. And then there is the web. So you use various types of ads, retargeting ads, lookalike ads, matched audience ads, which we'll talk about a lot because that allows you to upload your lead list and show ads to exactly your defined ABM audience. Paid search ads, which can be great for bidding on competitor keywords, comparative keywords, and industry search terms. Social targeting ads on LinkedIn and Facebook, and then the review sites and affiliate networks, of course. With email, you want to do both cold email sequences like we were talking about in the last lesson on using tools like Instantly or Apollo, as well as warm email sequences using your own CRM tool or a blogging newsletter platform like Beehive or Substack. And then you want to also take those long form content pieces that you're writing and break them up into about 500 words. On LinkedIn, allows up to 3,000 characters per post, so that's about 500 words. And you want to put them into, short, 1-pager posts that are punchy. And you could take an existing article and actually now use ChatGPT to say, hey, break this 10-page article up into 10 500-word LinkedIn posts with emojis. And that's a great way to generate LinkedIn content easily. And then finally, web. You want to put your content on SEO optimized blog posts. Each of those really only needs to be 1,000 to 1,500 words. You'll want to put it up on YouTube in video format as well, through courses like this. This is how you dominate your niche. And I think every founder, every CEO at least into the point where you're at 10 million in ARR and can afford a really professional sales and marketing engine, needs to be spending 5 hours a week creating and distributing their content. And if you do that, you'll create a lot of inbound leads within your target audience. I write a new piece of content, frankly, every 2 to 3 weeks. I've averaged at least one a month. You can see here on the screen, I've written 15 over the last 9 months. So every 2-3 weeks, I'm writing a new piece of content. Each of these pieces of content averaged about 15 pages. There's also the SaaS Growth Playbook, which is over 1,200 slides on everything I learned about scaling a SaaS company. We make these available in our community. We make these available to our prospects as well. And we really work on quality content education. And then what we do is we repurpose these long form articles and reutilize them for our cold sequences, which we'll do on Instantly, our warm newsletters, which we do between Beehive and High Level, our CRM tool, our SEO blog posts on SaasRise.com, our ads that we're running on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google and AdRoll and Bing and Taboola, on LinkedIn and the posts as well as the LinkedIn newsletter, and finally PDF lead magnets that generate people sort of raising their hand and saying, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing, send me more information on your community. So write once, repurpose multiple times. That is the way you do this. I've shown this slide in a prior lesson, but let's go through it now because now's the time to really dig into this. How do you start by turning your ABM lead list into people who are down the funnel and who are interested and aware and even desiring your service and solution? Well, you do the following. You start by building an ABM lead list using the various lead prospecting tools we've spoken about already, ranging from Apollo to Adapt, Seamless, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Wavo if you're in the e-commerce sector, Store Leads if you're in the e-commerce sector, D7 Lead Finder if you're targeting local businesses. And then you build your ABM lead list, you put it into a tool like Instantly, and you send over 30 to 60 days, 10 emails alternating. This is my strategy, alternating between short form call to action content and reply oriented content and long form educational thought leadership content. And those who engage, those who reply, those who click multiple times, get onto your engaged audience for your ad networks. And you can build these automatically using your CRM tool, using Zapier. You don't have to manually do really much anything once you set this up. And then you add the engaged people into your Beehive, your High Level, your HubSpot, your Salesforce, your CRM tool that's sending out warm content sequences. You can send out AI video emails using Potion. You can send out ringless voicemail drops using VoiceDrop. And if there's enough ACV, you can have an SDR from an outsourced firm or internally call your leads, call your engaged leads. And essentially you want to generate as many touch points as possible between targeted audience ads or matched audience ads, between email. You want to make sure everyone in your target market is hearing from you, 5-10 times a quarter at minimum. I would even say 15 to 30 times a quarter at minimum in order to dominate your niche. So we use this exact process map to turn over the last, for what we've done at SaaSRise is we started with 450,000 B2B cold contacts, which are SaaS CEOs and founders globally with 10 to 500 employees. And we have turned that now into over 100,000 warm contacts and over 2,700 applications into SaaSRise. And we've done that in less than a year. So in 60 days, you could easily take 100,000 of those B2B cold contacts within your ICP, has to be targeted right, and then turn those into 20,000 warm contacts who are clicking on your emails, clicking on your ads, commenting on your posts, commenting on your posts on Instagram and Facebook. And then, you can generate about 300 to 600 meetings a month in the mid-market and about 30 to 60 meetings a month in the enterprise market through this cold to warm strategy. So if you have questions about this, just ask me on Slack or WhatsApp or within the community. Happy to talk through this. This exact system has allowed us to start with a cold list and now have a warm list. When you have a warm email list, it's an owned list. That list gets very good open rates, over 35%. And we now have over 100,000 SaaS CEOs and founders on our email list, which is very good for 12 months of work. And that's allowed us to build 2.5 million in ARR over the last 12 months with just 2 or 3 people. If you already have 10, 20 people in sales, you could build a list that's even bigger than that. Ultimately, though, in B2B marketing, it's not really the size of the list as much as the targeting of the people on the list. And so if you're in enterprise sales, you're selling a product for 50,000, 100,000 a year, you might only need the right 7,000 people on your list. But the key is to send them high quality content that actually engages their mind and creates affiliation and awareness of your brand. We then utilize retargeting ads that show to people who visited our website or liked a piece of content or commented on a piece of content or watched at least 5 seconds of one of our videos. We use retargeting ads to promote the long form content that I'm writing. So this SaaS M&A report's like a 25-page article. A lot of times people aren't going to read that right away unless they're trying to sell their business in the next couple months. But they are going to be like, they're going to notice it and say, all right, I'm now associating the SaaSRise brand with high quality analytical long form content that is going to make me maybe not be able to read this content right now at 9 a.m. on a Monday, but I'm going to make a note in my mind saying, all right, I probably should join that community because they're probably going to have high quality content. They go to the website, they get retargeted, and now they're seeing this ad on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere they go. And maybe it's now Tuesday night at 7 p.m. They're on their phone. They're like, all right, let me take a look at that. They then click on it. And once they tap on that on their phone or click on it on a computer, then they'll go straight to the article and they'll either read it, review it, great, or they'll click on the call to action button and apply to join, which takes 60 seconds and you can fill out on your mobile phone. So about 70% of our traffic is on mobile right now, even though we're writing long form content, and that's normal. And so you really got to remind people that these high quality content pieces exist, and that builds thought leadership and builds demand gen for your brand and for your company and awareness of your solution that brings people down the funnel. And that's the entire SaaS growth system is about awareness, interest, desire, action. And then once you got that purchase order, once you have got closed one, then you get the retention and the expansion through your success team. That is what we're doing here. So your goal is to put lots of people who are targeted in the top of the funnel and then have a few, 5, 10, 15 a week come out at the bottom as closed one. So that's what we're going toward. You can see some examples here of our long form content alternating with short form content on our newsletter blog. It'll load here in just a minute. Let's see, did I type that wrong? Oh, here it is. And it is Beehive. So we use Beehive as our warm newsletter tool. Once someone is engaged, they've clicked, they've expressed interest, they're in the target market, then we'll put them onto the Beehive. And we alternate between high value content like this very, very long article that's about to load on making ads profitable. You can see here, this is probably 20 pages, 30 pages long, has lots of graphics in it, lots of spreadsheets in it. And we alternate between that type of content, and I write this myself, with shorter content that's like templates and dashboards. And you can see here, call to actions always either apply to join or get the dashboard. This was created by one of our partner members, Aventus Advisors, and it's a great way to get awareness out of what we do and who we are, as well as our partners like Aventus Advisor and Overpass Studio, who's doing our new website. And we alternate that with short form content, which is just like direct and to the point, like, hey, we've got 5 masterminds a week. Here's who it's for. Come join us. Here's the category. Come apply. So this is still 3 pages long, but I consider that shorter form content. You could also try like 3-liners, like, hey, I saw you're a SaaS CEO and founder. In this niche, we've got a lot of folks in this vertical. Come check us out. We'd love to have you in a mastermind next week. So it doesn't have to be super long. So that is what we do on our Beehive. And once you write your long form content, one 10-page piece of 5,000 words a month. And I'm a writer, but if you're not a writer, just write 10 prompts and then film yourself answering the prompts for 30 minutes on Loom like I'm doing. or Zoom, and you can send that video to a ghostwriter team. As long as the original content comes from your knowledge base in your head, which is probably going to be better than anyone else in your industry, then your team, which can be outsourced, or your AI tools can then take that original source content from your brain and turn it into many different types of content. The 110 to 15 page piece of high quality content I write every 3-4 weeks will be turned into one warm newsletter post, one automated email sequence follow-up message, one design PDF lead magnet for the ad campaigns, 2 ads on Facebook and LinkedIn promoting the content on retargeting, 5 high quality SEO optimized blog posts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, with each of the topics for SEO purposes, 10 different LinkedIn posts where they have a max of about 500 words each, and 10 to 15 slides in a course like this. So that's how you repurpose your content. Write once, use multiple times. And every time I write a new piece of high quality content, we put that piece into what we call our onboarding sequence, so that it's essentially our cold email sequence. We just make it longer, and instead of having 12 articles in it, now it's 13 articles, 14 articles. And what you want to do is realize that in B2B marketing, it can take 6 months to educate your base. And maybe you need to be, this is what we do, we'll send 9, 10 emails over 30 days. But then over the course of another 3-4 months, you need to be sending a weekly newsletter for those who are engaged and interested, and you need to be continually adding on high quality content to the tail of that onboarding sequence, so that you can turn your cold leads into engaged warm leads. So that's what we do. How do you build your content repurposing team? These aren't the people that's going to write the original content, but once the original content is either video recorded or written, then you can use a part-time or full-time assistant from Wing or Recruit or Athena. These are incredibly well-trained EAs and SDRs that you can get on your team for anywhere from $1,700 to $3,000 per month. You can even do part-time. You can get a Wing assistant part-time, really good quality, for $899 a month. Athena's super high quality, very highly vetted EAs, and Recruit is super high quality SDRs, usually out of South Africa, where obviously native English speakers understand the American European context. Now, how do you build your ads design team? Well, you don't need a team. You can do it yourself using adcreative.ai for $50-$60 a month. Or you could do it on Canva, again, for $5 to $10, $15 a month. Or if you really want super high quality, unique, not only static ads, but also animated ads, you could do that using these outsourced ad designs subscriptions like Kimp, Pixel Club, BuzzCube, Design Pickle. Those cost anywhere from $499 a month up to $1,800 a month at the high end, but we'll be able to produce for you animated ads, sometimes even video editing, landing page design, website tweaks, as well as static ads. Or you could go with Superside, which is more expensive at $5,000, $6,000 a month, but super high quality custom video design work there. So that is how you build a content machine. Remember the goal here: get 1 million B2B content impressions per month. Figure out where you are, establish your baseline. Maybe you're at 50,000, maybe you're at 200,000. Get up to 1 million a month and you win. That is the goal here. All right, in the next session, the next lesson, we're going to be moving into step 3. We've finished step 1 preparation and step 2 outbound. Now we're going to be going in the next lesson into step 3, which is scaling revenue with profitable advertising. This is the key difference between companies that get stuck at 3 million ARR versus companies that reach 30 million ARR. Do they, number 1, know their unit economics? Do they, number 2, have a scalable outbound system if they're B2B, mid-market, or enterprise? And number 3, regardless if you're SMB, B2C, mid-market, or enterprise, paid can work for you if you set it up right, and if you get the right ad creative and the right landing pages. We'll talk all about this in the next step. Thank you so much for being part of the SaaS Growth System course, and thank you so much for being part of the SaaSRise community. I'm excited to have you here. If you have any questions as you go, put them in the comments of the course or on Slack, WhatsApp, or email. I'm at ryan@saasrise.com, but easiest to reach me via Slack and WhatsApp. Hope you're doing well. We will see you in the next lesson. Cheers.